attempted. First freaking cast. Oh, he absolutely, she slammed that jig. Why are you burping? Okay, calm down. I can't get the jig out if you keep moving. Stay on the mat. Oh my God. Easy. Okay. She took that jig way back, right in the roof of the mouth. Absolutely smashed it. Look at that, beautiful brown trout. I did this last week. I showed up and fished the hour of darkness before the boats moved in. I had 3 doing the exact same thing, just bouncing a tube jig. Look at the colors of that. Wow. Hasn't been many casts later. According to the camera, it's been 16 minutes since I even started filming. And I got another fish. Absolute cookie cutter. Another female. So just like last week, the first 2 bites came in darkness. I'll throw some pictures up right now while I'm getting this hook out. I'll throw a couple pictures up of the 3 fish I had last week doing this technique. And it was, as soon as the boats showed up last week, the fishing completely died for everybody on shore. As soon as I went to put that first fish back, oh my god, that light's bright, sorry. The boats are already here, but the technique is working. I'll go over it in more detail after. Stop burping. Absolute cookie cutter, like you'd think it was the same fish, but very clearly it wasn't. It's about 7 or 8 minutes apart. I have a feeling I'll probably be able to pick off another 1 or 2 before the boats start to get heavy, being Saturday morning, and then it'll probably die off. It'll be time for float fishing, more finesse tactics. Again, that one took the bait way in to the roof of the mouth, so they're absolutely slamming the jig. I think it's a 1/4 ounce head. I don't think it's as much as 3/8. I've squeezed the air out of the top, so it kind of looks like a weird little nipple, but it gives it a neat little divot that makes it swim kind of funny. 2 fish, this thing's absolutely chewed up. It's just a green and white with a bunch of sparkles. I got then very short 6-pound leader to a swivel, and then a 10-pound mainline, and that's it. It's not light out yet, so maybe we got time for another one before the boats go nuts. way over there. Just gonna take a breather for a minute. So yeah, as I mentioned, I'm using the tube jig, just bouncing it in the darkness. Just big bait in the dark is always going to do better than something tiny. I got fish showing in shallow. I'm way upstream from where I was last week. This is my third attempt down in this area. Dave has been doing well. He's been bouncing to a lot of different spots though. Different locations, trying different things. He's experimenting a lot more than I have been. The first trip I did down here, I tried to film something. I ended up deleting the files. It was basically just me standing there like a muppet, casting at nothing. There was a fair number of people down here. There was a lot of boats, and I was further down in more of the popular area. The problem with down there is that the boats, you're basically running your float between the boats. They're that close. And once the boats show up, the fish seem to push out. You don't see many, if any, come out from the shore anglers. So that was 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Last week I came down, and I come down a slightly unorthodox way from the others that fish this area. There's another fish in close. And I slid down to try and get into my spot, and there was already people there. It was absolutely rammed on the bank. So I basically just stopped and fished where I got down here, right where I slid down the hill. And just started throwing the tube jig because it was the only thing I had tied up at the time. And I had 2 in my first 5 casts. And then about 15 or 20 minutes later, I had a third. So yeah, I think I've already shown you the pictures. Dave may have mentioned those same fish. He's had a beautiful rainbow. He's doing well, getting into some bites as well. Kingfisher's out. So yeah, last week was absolutely fantastic to be able to get into fish. But the boats just made it so... It wasn't fun fishing once the boats turned up. And, the boats are hitting a fish on every drift. Sometimes these guys are doubling up, tripling up on these drifts. They're doing a more vertical presentation right over top of the fish. And I think the fish push out. Once the boats really got going, the fish weren't coming out. So, the boats got it dialed in, but it made it very, very difficult for all of us on the shore, and there was a lot of us, to really figure things out and produce anything after that. I think one guy, there's a pair of young guys to my left last week, and one of them hooked one later on, and unfortunately lost it. But they whipped the water to a foam. But while I was there was one guy who actually recognized me from the channel and said hi, very polite, friendly guy. He ended up coming down this way, further upstream from where I was, and he stayed more that way than I am. I'm actually further up, but he stayed close enough that I could see him, but not so close that I could see what he was doing. And he ended up hitting a couple fish a little bit later than the 3 that I had. And what I really noticed was that the boats were coming in and starting their drift where I was, and very few of them were coming up as far as he was. So that became my immediate game plan for the next visit, that I would come up further this way. And I went to where he was, and the water looks good, but then I got my trusty O-light on, and it's kind of a ridiculous spotlight that makes me see like super far. I can see that there's a little cut in the bank here, almost like a little like a mini bay that you really almost don't see So I come to the far side of this little bay, and first cast, beautiful fish. A couple casts later, like 10 minutes later, another fish. It's one long run, but I've got a slight riffle to my left, so this might be really good for float fishing. Turn the light off here. But now these boats are going to start their drifts, so I want to get some more fishing in and see what I can get. I'll be switching tactics shortly. Out of battery power here, but I gotta turn the camera here so you can appreciate the colors of this one. So it's another female, beautiful condition, but the colors on this fish are absolutely bonkers, just bonkers. This one, hope you're reading the bottom lip. Oh my god. Little bit of a warrior of a fish. Stay on the mat. Pectoral fins are pretty mangled. Jaw's a little askew. The colors on that fish are just absolutely unreal. Look at the oranges. I want a photo of this one. Stay still. Okay, the boats are starting to pile in like crazy. Sun is cresting the horizon. Battery needs to be changed and my phone is covered in slime. So I have a sort out to do. I'm still too fat and out of shape for it. So it's just coming up on noon. The last fish I had was just before 8 a.m. I fished the tube jig for quite a while. After that, didn't get anything. I tried float fishing for about an hour and a half. Didn't get anything. Then I tried bottom bouncing a 6mm bead. I ended up losing one fish doing that. After that, these clouds really rolled in. The wind started to pick up, so I went back to the tube jig. About 40 minutes. Had one short strike. I know it was a short strike because I was reeling in and I watched the fish swipe at it. But that was it. So yeah, once again, just after first light, the boats start moving. The activity just died right off. It got really difficult. A lot of guys down there on shore too. But yeah, it's one of those things where last week I wanted to, try the big baits while it was dark. It paid off, got me 3 fish first thing. And then it was a matter of, did what I do make sense? Was it the right thing? Come back today, do the exact same thing, and get an exact repeat. 3 fish, 2 in the dark, 1 just after first light. Never underestimate a jig. It's really, really tough with all the different options you have for catching trout. It's really tough to beat the jig, whether it be twister tails, minnow baits, or tube jigs. Jigs have caught me way more trout than anything else over the past 30 plus years, and that's why I keep going back to them. So tomorrow's going to be another adventure. I'm not sure where I'm going or what I'm chasing, but today is done. 3 fish in the net. I could not be happier. I'm out.